Hey everybody, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin in Tucson, Arizona. Thanks for joining me today for an emergency video. This is something that just came out of the blue, and I'm always happy to share new information with you guys. I have never seen this before. For those of you new to the channel, I've been doing this for 3 decades or so, and I have seen some run-ups in the prices of precious metals over the years. Most recently, of course, we had the 2010, 11, 12, 13 era where we saw some peaks and valleys again. And of course, we came out of COVID, which was a little different because the price points didn't move, but the availability did. Full disclosure, my general sense for gold and silver has always been somewhat similar to what it is today, which is I don't know how it gets priced, which is disturbing to me because I understand if there's a freeze in Florida, what happens to orange juice. It's a commodity, there's only so much of it, and there's only so much demand for it. So in theory, pricing of metals should be like pricing of other things, supply and demand. I like to compare things sometimes to the housing market because it's a big asset that people can see, and also you can understand at different times in your life, maybe where you live, you've seen 1,000 houses on the market or 5,000 houses on the market, and how that adjusts the market as far as like what the price point is relative to what it was, and ups and downs. Gold and silver are at all-time highs. Gold today is kicking around 4,000. Silver is finally plateaued or hit 50 bucks. And for the first time ever that I've seen, people have stopped buying silver. So what I mean by that is that refiners have said, we're not taking any more. And the end process here in my mind has always been for the price of gold and silver as they've gone up here in this last 3 months or 6 months, year, is who's the end consumer of this? And I know that the people who buy gold and silver on I'm not being derogatory, but like the YouTube / Instagram folks who are just like silver forever, it's going to 1,000, gold's going to 10,000, they have some idea about it that I find to be difficult to understand. And that is, at the end of the day, there has to be a place for it to go. Somebody has to be willing to pay the price of gold and the price of silver. So I understand on some level that you can really have another foreign entity, a government that says, hey, we're just going to go ahead and print paper money, send our worthless paper money to the US and buy gold. And we're just going to do it in exchange and everyone's happy because they get the gold and we get paper money. I can understand that. But the silver thing has been really interesting because, refiners are like, well, no, we're not taking any more. And so some of the major refiners in the country have said that they're not currently buying anymore. And so for the first time ever, one of my main guys that I sent stuff to said, look, I need to discount silver off the spot price. He's never said that before in 28 years of dealing with him. And he said, I need to discount it, $1.75 because from his perspective, for who he's doing business with, they're using a futures market as a part of their price point, and the price of silver exceeded the futures market. So that's one thing. Is it simply a matter of, well, because of the way these guys hedge, that's the difficulty here because of the future market? And there's definitely some truth to that because I'm dealing with multiple people that are telling me the same thing. But I think the reality of it, when we hear that major refiners have said, no more silver, we're good, the first thing that comes to mind is, well, they don't have somewhere to go with the end product. Whoever uses silver for an industrial purpose or for jewelry or whatever, or refining, in theory, they're taking your old silver jewelry and turning it into 1 ounce round. If there were demand for silver at $50 an ounce, they should be buying it up and be like, okay, we can turn this into rounds and we've got a consumer because we're going to send it over to this guy who's going to sell it to the consumer at $1 or $2 over or whatever the deal is. And so always I have felt that there have been some weird false markets in the gold and silver market. And my more current beliefs have been that it's not consumer driven. Because during COVID, when we had to pay $6 over an ounce to get silver at 22, why wasn't silver just listed at 28? Like, that doesn't make any sense, right? And here we are today on the opposite end of that, where there doesn't seem to be the same consumer driving the amount or quantity of silver coming through the system, and yet silver is going up. So lots of fun stuff there, y'all. I don't have any big answers for you on any of this. I'm only telling you what I know. And you guys can argue about all the details, but if you have insider information, share it. If it's what you heard on another YouTube channel, maybe don't. And not out of jealousy, but just like, I want to know if you actually are inside the industry. Because from my eyes, this is a new event in 28 years of history for me to see wholesalers and refiners either stopping or saying, hey, I need to discount it off of the spot price because I can't use that spot price because I can't sell it for that. So that is like a brand new experience. So anyways, there it is. Emergency done. Enjoy your day. All right, guys, I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.